time to talk about a Minecraft movie. Not the Minecraft movie, a Minecraft movie, which probably means there's going to be another Minecraft movie. And considering how well this movie's doing, yeah, we're probably going to see a sequel to this. Anyway, so this film has been getting a lot of hate on the internet. Like, I can't go to YouTube, do a search for this without seeing people saying a Minecraft movie is terrible. A lot of people don't like this film. I get the feeling like a lot of people really didn't expect to like this film. And I can understand that. I have to admit, when the trailers came out and Jack Black comes out and does his I Am Steve thing, I have to admit I did not have high hopes for it. But here's the thing. I like this film. I'm going to say it. I like this film. I'm glad I went to see it in the theater because I think it's a very cool film. Now, do I think it's Oscar worthy? I don't know. It's kind of like when I saw the Barbie movie and I was blown away by how good it was. But this is a film that I kind of felt like is targeted for younger people. It's definitely targeted for those who are Minecraft fans. I'm not a Minecraft fan. I've played the game, so I know the basic concept of it. And this film really immerses you in its world because it really wants you to, even if you've never even heard of Minecraft, you would understand what's essentially going on in this film. Now, this film has a plot line that I have to admit has probably been done before, where essentially characters from our world go into a magical world, and yeah, this is done pretty well. There's a lot of shortcomings in this film. There were a lot of times where I kind of felt like, okay, I feel like maybe a few drafts would have been needed and you probably would have ironed out these details to make a near perfect movie, but I kind of felt like you took a lot of shortcuts and you kind of created a movie that was fairly decent and not only passable, but good, but you could have gotten an A. Is it a B movie? I'll say yeah. But some B movies are good. Hey, what can you say? I mean, like I said, it's not perfect. There are things in this thing I would have changed. This is one of those stories that on paper probably shouldn't work, but then if you actually do it, you're kind of going like, okay, that's kind of interesting now. And you just sort of like go along for the ride. It's fine. I think there should be more films like this. This is the magic of Hollywood, that you can do something like this, and it kind of works. Okay, so I'm going to start with just talking about some of this film's weaknesses. First of all, the villain of this film, I have to admit, has not a lot of motivation. Just wants to destroy creativity to get gold. Now, is this meant to be symbolic of something? Okay, let's just go with that. What is it meant to be symbolic of? I'm not really certain. They actually show this villain appearing on a show called Nether's Got Talent, so they have that in this world. And apparently she was a dancer, and then but they thought it was goofy and they shunned her, so she became this kind of dictator type person, which to me I kind of went like, okay, that's a little, I mean, okay, I get it, maybe you're sort of satirizing the whole supervillain origin story. Doesn't quite really work here. Now, there's another scene I have to admit falls short, a scene that actually could have been good, and I felt like if the writing was a bit better, you would have had this scene. But essentially, if you've played Minecraft at all, you know that when you go into the world, the first thing you have to do is build a shelter, and you do it by punching trees. And if you've played Minecraft, you know exactly what I'm talking about. In the film, it becomes night in the other world rather quickly, just like it does in the game. And the characters are being chased by skeletons and other sort of nasty guys. And one of the characters stumbles into a tree, and then from there accidentally makes a little block. Just kind of like in the... And then when he takes the block, he's able to manipulate it. The problem is he does this talent way too fast. Now, it's shown that in this film that this character is a very creative person, but I went like, how does he know how to do that? I kind of went like, okay, that's a little too fast. I feel like what should have happened is that Steve, who's played by Jack Black, shows up and starts explaining all this stuff. I felt like he should have been there from the get-go and maybe could have helped them out and explained this stuff. Also, I think the motivation of in the opening, they show Steve in the Minecraft world being captured by the villain, and And the villain's motivation are apparently to get this orb that Steve has, which can open a portal two-way to Otherworld and our world. And apparently the villain wants that so that villain can invade our world. But Steve manages to take that orb and put it in our world thanks to the help of this square dog friend he has named Dennis. And the thing is, Dennis stays in our world for quite a while and no one notices the square wolf. You actually see this square wolf walk around the streets of some Idaho town or something like that. And it's a little... so that part's a little hard to believe. There's also another part that I have to admit, what's done where they're kind of on a... There's a scene where Steve and his friends are like on a minecart, and they're kind of trying to go along, but there's creepers around, and they're worried about detonating the creepers, and they start shaking them up, and then there's being chased after. And I knew there was going to be a scene of chain reaction, and they get out of the explosion in time, and that by the time you climax on that part, I think it goes really well. But everything leading up to it kind of felt like, okay, this doesn't seem to be working here, and it's a bit too slow, and the characters are not really interacting with each other. So there were a lot of times where that would happen. So let's get to the good parts about this film. Jack Black is being Jack Black, and he's having a lot of fun. He's selling this film, and he's just... And most people say, like, it's just Jack Black yelling out things that are in Minecraft. Here's the thing. He does his job so well, I don't even care. So also Jason Momoa's character, he's kind of this guy who was a great video game champion like in the late 80s, and he's still trying to live off the fame from that, and he's not doing a good job. He's got some store in like Idaho which is about to be foreclosed upon, and he's looking for a way to simply just get rich. And so yeah, we've got his character there, and we have some other characters. I mentioned there was a kid who figured out how to punch the trees. He's kind of this, I wouldn't call him a prodigy, but he is pretty smart. And he has kind of a guardian that's actually his sister. And there's apparently a backstory that their mother died or something like that. And there's this other realtor character that maybe you could have written out of the film, but she's such a good natured character that honestly I kind of liked having her along, really. You kind of need somebody like that in films like these to liven things up. And here's another thing. There are great action scenes in this film. The effects look really good. Here's the thing. I mean, I think there's something in the mind that doesn't sort of accept the fact that this is actually really happening to them, because you're looking at this blocky world and you're going like, okay, I know that that doesn't exist. But there are scenes like when they're in with the villagers that I kind of felt like, okay, I'm willing to buy the green screen on that. It's fine. I think I've seen this done worse. This looks pretty good, because I think there's something of an uncanny valley happening in this film where you're going like, okay, I know that doesn't exist, so I can't really judge it, and I can't really say like, and I don't know what that would look like if you were to actually put that in front of me, is another thing. For the most part, Minecraft, the Otherworld is very beautiful, green and lush, albeit square, but it looks nice. It looks like a world I would want to visit, really. It's about as welcoming as, say, Oz or Narnia or Middle-earth, really. I really like that. So I think that was really the draw of this film, and for that, they got it to work. So, also another bonus, this film was directed by Jared Hess, the man who gave us Napoleon Dynamite. And I was going like, and it has that kind of sense of humor about it, which I really enjoyed, because here's the thing. This was the biggest film this director has ever done. I looked at his record, and there wasn't, besides Napoleon Dynamite, there really isn't much there. So I was very fascinated when I saw this thing, and I thought like, okay, this guy who did this very big independent comedy from 20 years ago actually managed to knock it out of the park with this very big budget kind of effects fest sort of film. And hey, I like films with spectacle as much as the next guy, and Minecraft has a lot of it. What can I say? So is that part enjoyable? Oh yeah. I mean, I think for that, it does what it's advertised. So, and the characters are pretty good too. Is there going to be a sequel? I would say yes. There's a post-credit sequence that definitely sets up some kind of sequel, but I had to have my son explain it to me. I mean, as far as like, they introduced a character named Alex, and I kind of went like, who's Alex? And it's like, I don't know. And they really went out of their way not to show who Alex was played by, which means like when they do the sequel, they're probably going to get some big name to play Alex, I imagine. Anyway, so you should go see a Minecraft movie. Anyway, this is Mark from the Geek Church, signing off.